Routine inspections. Trained personnel should inspect your thermal liner and moisture barrier at least once a year. After 3 years of use, your moisture barrier needs to be separated from the thermal barrier and inspected by trained personnel or an authorized clean and repair center. Before starting your shift and after exposure to high heat, check the substrate of your moisture barrier for discoloration. If it has discolored, the film is likely damaged and should be inspected by trained personnel or an authorized cleaning and repair service. This level of inspection requires that both the outer shell and liner system be evaluated together. If you suspect your moisture barrier is leaking, conduct this field test. Place the liner over a bucket or wastebasket on a flat surface. Pour 1/2 cup of water on a randomly selected 2-inch circle on the outer side of the moisture barrier. If water passes through to the thermal barrier, the moisture barrier is damaged and will not prevent liquid from an outside source from passing through to your thermal barrier. Such leakage can compromise your safety. Immediately inform trained personnel, who should remove the liner system from service and send it to the manufacturer or an authorized cleaning and repair center for repair or replacement. Coats manufactured to meet the latest edition of NFPA 1971 standards are equipped with a drag rescue device or DRD. Check the DRD to make sure it's stowed properly. Try on the coat to check for comfort and proper fit. If you feel tightness in any way, remove your coat. Check for twisting of the DRD between the shell and the inner liner. Adjust it, then recheck the fit. If you detect or suspect any problems with your DRD, contact trained personnel immediately. Inspect your helmet before starting your shift and after each exposure to impact, high heat, or chemicals. Check the shell for cracks, dents, abrasion, thermal damage, bubbling or soft spots, and contamination. Check the reflective trim for dirt, melting, loss of retroreflectivity, and separation from the shell. Examine the inside of the helmet for dirt, cracks, deterioration, or other damage. Look for torn straps, torn leather pad, breaks, or dirt in the helmet suspension system. Inspect the headband for tears, breaks in the plastic connectors, broken or loose adjustment ratchet, dirt, and sweat. Check the face shield and/or goggles for cracks, charring, distortion, damage from heat or flames, missing or loose adjustment knobs, and dirt. Inspect the ear and neck protector for tears, dirt, signs of light damage, or combustion products. Your helmet should be cleaned at least 2 times a year. You'll also need to inspect your protective hood before starting duty. Examine it thoroughly for shrinkage, loss of elasticity, seam integrity, dirt, thin spots, holes, tears, embrittlement, burned or discolored areas, abrasion, worn spots, or other signs of weakness. Make sure the face opening seals securely. Any weak or thin areas should be brought to the attention of trained personnel. Your hood should be cleaned according to your department's SOP. Hoods can be cleaned by hand or machine. You can also spot clean your hood if the soiling or staining is concentrated in a small area. As with all protective clothing, never store your hood where it is exposed to direct sunlight, indirect sunlight, or fluorescent light. Inspect your gloves after any exposure to high heat, chemicals, firefighting agents, cleaning, repair, or decontamination. Examine the shell for dirt, thin spots, holes, tears, embrittlement, burned or discolored areas, abrasion or worn spots, and other signs of weakness. Examine all seams for loose threads, breaks, skip stitches, or weaknesses. Test the glove's protective wristlets for shrinkage, elongation, loss of elasticity, and seam integrity. If you suspect your gloves are no longer watertight, inform trained personnel. Gloves are difficult to repair. It's usually more cost-effective to replace damaged gloves. Boots should be inspected monthly or after each exposure to high heat. Examine boots for delaminating seam seals, punctures, thin spots, tread wear, loss of elasticity, and waterproofness. If you discover flaws or damage in your protective footwear or suspect your boots are no longer waterproof, notify trained personnel for assessment. Advancements in PPE offer you unprecedented levels of protection. Like any piece of high-performance equipment, your turnout clothing, helmet, hood, gloves, and boots need to be maintained properly and on a regular basis. It only takes a few minutes to conduct a routine PPE inspection. Those few minutes could save your life.